being a nurse isn't a job, it's an adventure. Hello there, my name is Sherry, but you can call me Sher. So I am a proud Filipino nurse who graduated Bachelor of Science in Nursing in March 2014, passed the boards a couple of months later, and finally entered the fascinating world of employment December that same year. So I got into a JCI accredited institution where I worked in a medical surgical unit that also served as the hospital's step-down intensive care unit. So basically, I was looking after 6 to 7 patients of various comorbidities who are either for surgery, who just came out of ICU, or people who are simply needing multiple diagnostics and straightforward medical treatment. So I was there for 2.5 years until I finally decided to seek greener pastures here abroad. So now I'm currently here in the UK, healthy and free from COVID, practicing my dream career of being a critical care nurse for over 3 years now. So I work in a 28-bedded ICU that caters to both medical and surgical cases of patients who are requiring multiple organ support, including invasive ventilation, vasopressors, hemofiltration, and other medical equipment and systems. So overall, I've been in the bedside for more than half a decade now. Being a critical care nurse has always been my dream. So definitely I would love to pursue working in the intensive care unit. So just a funny backstory, when I first came here in the UK, I was deployed straight to ICU. And I must admit that I was so overwhelmed back then because I did not have any ICU background back in the Philippines at all. So seeing the ventilator, the cardiac monitor, merely the arterial and central line, it scared me. But of course, with strong perseverance and so much eagerness to learn, and thanks to the support of my colleagues as well, today I can say that I am now a full-fledged critical care nurse with extensive experience. And moreover, I am the type of person who adapts easily, and there's this thing about a challenging working environment that excites me. So definitely working in the ICU is something I'll be practicing with great familiarity and, as you can tell, with so much enthusiasm. As an ICU nurse, the top 3 things that I do during my shifts on a regular basis: first, I do a comprehensive patient assessment guided by the ABCD approach. That would include physical inspection, palpation, auscultation, and I also do a routine safety check of the bedside, which would include checking the functionality of the machines attached to my patient, setting my monitoring alarm limits, and noting that there is the presence of an emergency equipment nearby. And next, I administer medications orally, enterally, intravenously, including electrolyte replacements, titration of sedation, inotropes, and paralytic agents. And lastly, I closely monitor my patient's condition by recording the vital signs, the input and output, taking serial blood gases and analyzing them, and adjusting ventilation parameters, and of course, escalating any problem to the appropriate member of the healthcare team. When I was younger, I was always fascinated by people working in the hospital. Those people wearing those scrubs or white uniform, walking professionally with their stethoscopes along the hallway and manipulating those very complicated medical equipment. The reason why I chose nursing might probably be that simple, not to mention that I was also inspired by my mom and sister, who are both nurses too, and who would always tell me, "Oh, come on, take nursing because it's a ticket abroad." But when I started to interact with actual patients, like listen to them, accompany them in their health journey, give them the care they need, I started to appreciate and fully realize why I not only picked this nursing career pathway in the first place, but also stayed in it. And that is to give back and be God's helping hand. I've been a nurse for 5 years now, maybe not as long as the others, but in that span of time, I truly witnessed that us nurses make a real difference. Sure, it's never easy. Like, I do get physically tired, mentally exhausted, and sometimes even emotionally. But at the end of the busy day, I get that feeling of satisfaction and tell myself, this is where I want to be, and this is who I want to become.